Texas, Kaieteur Radio 99.1, 99.5 FM, the Wake Up Guyana Show. Hello there, good afternoon. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is the Christmas season. It is upon us. It is December the 14th, 2020. Wherever you're joining us from today, I want to say good day to you. It's a beautiful day out there, but do not, I repeat, do not go around that La Penitence here. It's a killer on the traffic there today. I'm not sure what's happening, but a few weeks back, they would have put some no parking lines around that area there. I'm talking just around by the Guyana National Printers office there, the premises there, by the Guyana National Shipping Company on Lombard and Saffron Street, just about that junction there, Pontren Dam there. If you're turning, you're coming from the East Bank and you're turning into the Lombard Street area there, it's a killer with the traffic. There seems to be some congestion going on there, a bottleneck there, if you will. And if the police are listening, I want to say to you that you should be on that area there. I could tell you that they are around the place. The ranks are in the full strength. And I want to say to you that we should get down in that area there and see what you could do by that traffic. So try to get away from that. Do not be caught in it. It's a killer there. I had to divert through the All Boys Tongue area there in order to get back to the office because I would have been late otherwise. And if you are joining us here, it's the Wake Up Guyana show right here on Kaieteur Radio. Your host Leonard Gildarie. It's a festive season. If you viewing us online on Facebook, on YouTube right now, you should be able to see my shirt. It is because it's a festive season. I want you to start feeling as if it's like that way. I'm going to tell you a couple of things that has developed there over the weekend. Major news. As we speak right now, there's something that is happening when it comes to the changing the situation, the kind of conversation that we have on quality of life in Guyana, our relationship towards each other. There's a conversation that has started nationally and it's being pushed by the Ethnic Relations Commission. We'll be telling you a little bit of that in a very very short while. So I want to say before we do anything, of course, that is normal, as normal house cleaning, house working, house manners, whatever it is you want to call it. I want to say welcome to our good folks right across this land here. I hope that you're feeling the season in your soul. Yes, we may not have a lot of monies like all the time, but we never do we? What we do have is a goodness in our heart, is our festive spirit, and we normally bring that out in times like these. And it is in that month when things, regardless how the year has been, you do feel a little happiness, you do feel a little something there to push your mind into something that is going to make us enjoy this year. And it was a very, very tough year, maybe one of the harshest year for us in a very long time, for decades. The next year is not going to be so easy either, as we still have to maneuver around the pandemic. And of course, I know we have several scores of persons joining us from overseas right now on the Facebook, on the YouTube, and of course they tuned in on the Kaieteur News Online and other ways that they find them to get onto Kaieteur Radio here, and of course listen to the Wake Up Guyana show, because it's your show, it's your voice, it's your turn to say things to the people of Guyana, and we don't hold any punches. We say it like it is, and we're one family because we're one country. So season's greetings wherever you are, and I hope that you're having a wonderful day so far. It is December the 14th, 2020, and there's some major news that we must tell you. Some very, very sad news, as well as some good news. Among the headlines that are making the news over the weekend, of course, allegations of wiretapping. One political party, all of them on the same coalition, has ordered, allegedly, reportedly, ordered the tapping of a senior minister within the government, in the last coalition government. And this was in the height, listen to me very carefully, according to the story that's coming out, this was in the height of the post-elections uncertainty in Guyana. And of course, we're going to bring some details to you in a very short while. In Region 1, we move across to Region 1 there. Man has locked a police station, a police outpost, with policemen inside, and tried to set it afire. Apparently, he had some beef with the police. I put that because I'm going to be very careful what I'm saying here. You cannot, you have a beef with somebody that makes you want to harm them. So he has to be locked up, and if found guilty, they got to really throw away the keys for a couple of years for him there, because for you to do that, that's attempted murder. Very, very serious story there. Region 1, a place called Arakaka in Region 1, and it is an outpost, an outlying area. When you do that, it's so much, it's like a terrorist act almost. And so I hope this man here, to say, is somebody who's on drugs or something. And so that's something that we should not tolerate in this country. We should not be having our people do things like that and expect that they would get away because they got a high-priced lawyer. No. We got to start treating people seriously when it comes to that. And of course, domestic violence. A mother and her two children, 1315, I think it is, burnt over the weekend on Saturday, because one man believed that he had the power to do that. That's in Bartica Region 7 there. Going to bring you a little more story on that. My dog died on Saturday. That was a very heartbreaking. I'm going to come back and talk about that. When people talk about the animals, I this is the first time that we really decided to mind a couple of dogs. And it became part of the family. And Max was somebody that, really looked, he came first into the family. and he was there. If you ever had a best friend, a dog is sometimes it can't be truer than that. They don't have any motivations except they want you to love them, and when you see them, it's there. All they want you to do is show them some love. We had to put him down because he was suffering from an infection, and it was just a 1, 2, 3, and he was gone, and he couldn't believe it. If we could do anything to bring him back for him to be well, I would do that. But that was it is a very sad time. We look across to where his kennel is. I got to break it down, and there's a big part of us that's missing there. And so whoever own animals, pets across Guyana, and around the world, wherever you are, if you have a cat, a dog, a parrot, whatever it is, I connect with that now, because you take animals, you take things for granted until it is or they're gone. And I see so many times we say to ourselves, could I have done it better? Could I have done something? It is things that we reflect upon as we go forward. But going across the river, two kids. I went to see two kids yesterday. I'm going to tell you a little story with that. Ponzi and Ponzi. What are you guys doing? Is somebody asking you or telling you that you can make a whole bunch of money? You only have to invest so little? Be very smart. Run away. Clonbook and Andros receiving their cash grant as of today. They're in Region 4. I did receive a call from Hillsfoot on the Soosdijk Linden Highway today, and families there are quarreling because the families living downstairs, another set of family living upstairs, and they're saying that they've been refused the cash grant. I hope that they've resolved this. I am going to tell you that if you have an issue, report this matter to the NDC and to the RDC in the area right away and start getting it, because there may have to be a good reason why they if you filled out that pink form, or so be a little patient. They are going to come back, but there's a verification process which would have to be vetted again, because if there are more than one family, they have to make sure that they're not duplication and people are taking advantage. But I think I would want to believe that you would have how you say it, you could appeal, and there should be an appeal process in which you could be able to say, look, I think your decision such and such a day when you visited us and you did not give us, it's wrong. Here are the reasons why. 156 deaths so far. A 72-year-old man has died, and bringing the death toll to 156 so far in Guyana when it comes to the COVID-19. And while we're talking about America is about to do things when it comes to the vaccination, I think Florida is where they're going to start. So we have to pay attention around the world as we move towards the vaccination stage of trying to stop this pandemic in its tracks. In the meantime, it's just about 1:15. We have a very, very tight day, I'm being told, because we want to open those lines and have those callers, come through. Let us talk about so many things that are affecting you. I did had some words with a man this morning that was, a big criticizer, if you will, of Kaieteur News and Kaieteur Radio, and I did try to explain to him about what we stand for and so on. But as we go forward, that's how life is. Over the weekend, on Sunday, December the 13th, 2020, this is what your Guyana's largest selling newspaper, Kaieteur News, would have been reporting to you. And this is what you would have needed to know over the weekend. Tapping of AFC executive phone. AFC said it's fake news. Granger to issue statement today. And let me tell you what the story is. There is a letter purportedly issued by the executive to a senior official of the Guyana Police Force, who is now in a higher position within the Guyana Police Force. This would have happened days after the elections on March the 2nd, asking that the calls should be intercepted on the phone of a particular minister, AFC minister, and there has been very little statement except, I think the AFC says it looked like fake news. Granger to issue statement today. That was yesterday. There's no statement issued, and I think Kaieteur News would have updated on that. So is it fake news or not fake news? It's a very serious story when one coalition partner could order the police, and this man is said to be, he was in charge of the police force at that point in time, when they asked the people who were under him, the police force in itself, to spy on the boss. And that's a very serious thing. When you ask people to intercept calls, you have to go to court and so on and give reasons. The reason that they gave for this particular minister here was one, and you know the story. I don't have to repeat to you who it is if you're now joining us. The minister they went to the court apparently, or they tried to justify the tapping of this minister's phone line according to the story that's coming out, and it says one is alleged involvement, possible involvement in robbery on the arms. One, another one is trafficking in narcotics, and another one has to do with the purchase and the distribution of firearm and ammo. Those are three very, very serious crimes. And so that is the matter. There's been no statement coming out officially from any one of the party disputing officially, that is, that this thing is not real, that it's all a figment of the imagination. It could be a makeup by the PPP, but I think Kaieteur saw enough evidence or understand maybe the sources that would have put it to them that it is something that is very serious. But we don't want, in America, you can't have CIA working domestically. You have FBI and so on who would do investigation, but CIA cannot operate domestically. They could only operate overseas. When you have spying on your citizens and tapping of phones and so on, and that's a story that I'm going to come back and tell you, that there seems to be an indication that several persons, including myself and others, the phone lines would have been tapped leading before and after elections, and this was done by a specific place in the city that was manned by a few intelligence officers. And it sounds like something of a notebook or a novel or a fiction, something there, right? Right home in your country here, my dear people. We're going to come back a little and talk to you about that as the story develops here. World's biggest oil trader quickly pays up $160 million to settle corruption allegations. And they're here in Guyana. So there's a company here that would be involved in the oil trading. A very powerful company, one of the biggest in the world. Track record all over the place of bribery and so on. And after the story came out, they paid $160 million. You know what's $160 million? That's the amount of money that Guyana borrowed over the last couple of months to deal with COVID-19, and this company could shell it out just like that to settle these corruption allegations. And they're here in Guyana and they want to trade our oil for us. I paused there to have, for you to have to have the dramatic effect, settling on us, for us to chew on that for a little while. Trinidad took the decades to close loopholes. This is export ones, Guyana, not to walk the same road. Very serious story here. There's a couple of things that's happening to us right now, and what Trinidad is going through right now to fix their problems with regards to the oil. They're seeing the signs of it right here in Guyana, and the export. Anthony Paul is saying, no, Guyana, don't you dare walk that road. You're going to end up in the same thing with Trinidad. And if you don't know where Trinidad is right now, Trinidad is in a very dark place. The oil is running out. They have some oil. They have gas, but they're losing their money. They don't have so much money as they used to have before. And most of the companies are here in Guyana, Schlumberger and the rest of them. Yes, US-based headquarters, Schlumberger is here. And a couple of the other Blackwater and a whole bunch of them reportedly are here too. They want to do business in Guyana, and they've already started doing business in Guyana when it comes to oil and gas. PPPC took over $180 million in loans in the last 6 weeks. We did talk about the story here. Firearm license issued on the coalition. SOCO seizes 1,000 files in the police commissioner's office, and this would have been SOCO over the weekend. I think it was Thursday or Friday. I think it was. They went to the office of the commissioner of police and took away, carted off over 1,000 files, and these files would have had to do with the issuance of a firearm license. And the authorities are going to be looking into that to see whether these firearm applications ever made it to the firearm board, which is the one that is supposed to give its final or give its a very important approval or green light or no objection to these licenses being issued before the commissioner of police does his thing. And so They're saying that a significant number would not have reached the board but would have been issued. There are also reports, rumors that is circulating that a lot of money were being paid for each one of these licenses. You want a gun license, you paid the money, and so SOCO's looking into this to find out whether it bypassed the board and maybe haul in these people to find out what really transpired here. And if it is that these people are qualified, that's the ultimate thing, qualified to hold a weapon, a licensed firearm in their hands. It's going to be a very serious thing because when you're talking about gun crimes and so, yes, everybody wants a gun and so, but if we make a mistake with one life being lost, it is one too many. So you don't want to put guns in any and all person's hands. They got to be very responsible. They got to make sure that they take care of it and protect it from their family, have it in a very safe place. That is a story that we will be looking at. Brazil government to hold public hearings on auction of its mineral lands. There's something very serious here that we're looking at here. We have tons of lands here in Guyana, 83,000 square miles. There's lots of lands you're talking about. And if you want to give it out, especially if you know that they got a lot of minerals and things, other things that you may want, sand and so on and so forth. If you can't make it happen for your locals, make sure that it goes to auction, and Brazil is taking that particular thing, and so they're deciding right now. They're holding consultations. How should we do this auction, and who should take part in it? So they're all deciding that at the moment. Bandits shot dead after Eccles warehouse raid, and apparently Friday night, I think it was. Two men engaged security guard at the Eccles bond there, and he exchanged fired reportedly one of the bandits, and the security guard exchanged fire with his shotgun. When the smoke cleared and they tried to jump the fence, this man collapsed and he made it across the trench onto the public road there, died. And so the story that's coming out there is that he has been a known nuisance in that area on this bank there. Guyanese Abdel Noor, convicted in the JFK terror plot here, and this is the case involving Abdul Qadir, former parliamentarian in Guyana for the PNCR. He would have been one of them, with Abdul Qadir taken to the United States and sentenced to years in prison. He's out, and they've deported him back to Guyana. There was a lot of silence on this, and when he came back, nobody knew until this story broke over the weekend in the United States of America from the ICE department there. So he's back in Guyana. And it is an important story. U.S. $150 million CGI expansion fiasco. Government rejects Chinese contractors' demand for more money. If this is not IPAS, like I've been saying, well, then nothing is. Imagine the company came here, say to you, I'm going to build a house for this kind of money. I'm going to find the loans for it, and you have to pay me back so much mortgage per every month to my employer, who is going to give you the loan with some interest. This company here came and said, we're going to do it for you for 150 million US dollars. So they said, we're going to give you a long runway, we're going to give you a new terminal building, and we're going to give you so much of a nice airport with escalators and elevators and the whole works, with a skylight roof that's going to save you energy, electricity. This company here says they're going to do it within maybe 4 years, a 6-month period. This started around 2011 thereabouts. We're in 2020 at the moment. The airport is not finished. What they did is take the old terminal building and renovated it, thanks to some blessings from the previous administration. And this company is asking us to give them more money on top of the $150 million. What is wrong with this picture? What is wrong with us? This company is here in Guyana to build a movie tongue after the start of the movie tongue project there. And I have no beef with movie tongue. I think it's a nicer project. They started that project there after the start of the airport project. They finished movie tongue. Movie tongue is in operations. They've started on the Pegasus Hotel expansion there, where they're building a shiny new building there to have executive offices and place where people could stay and have meetings and so on. They're almost finished with that, and the airport can be finished, but they want more money. So the government says, what we're going to do, you don't fulfill your obligation, you can't work in Guyana, we're going to go after you. And we threaten legal action, and we threaten debarment from future project. This is not an if or a thing, it has to happen. This is a company that's disrespected it, and I think I did see from Attorney General Anand statements there that he would have made complaints to the Chinese ambassador in Guyana, as well as to the company headquarters about this particular project here. I don't care what you have, what kind of excuse you have. At the end of the day, it's my money. I have to pay back those loans, and so somebody would have to pay for it. So China Harbor, get ready for the ride, because we are not going to back away from this, and this is not something that this government should allow the ball to drop. Company tight-lipped about repayments as investors become desperate. This is a alleged Ponzi scheme. You know, when I see some lawyers, when I see some of these companies here, and this company, Mr. Yuri Gonzalez and his wife, Miss Ishmael, Atika Ishmael, this is absolute madness. I'm surprised that Guyanese people are not agitating more. Yes, you've been fooled, and yes, you didn't say anything when you were embarking on that. 17,000 persons. Got to get serious with these people. This man should not be allowed to leave this country here. Yes, you're innocent until proven guilty. Where is the money? If you took 17,000 persons down the line there, get them to invest with you. And a couple of pastors, pandits, and everybody was involved with this. It is Christmas time. I'm very, very touchy about this situation. I'm very angry with it, because many persons would have borrowed from friends and family because they saw an opportunity. Yes, I would blame you a little, because you got to be smart. This thing was not being advertised anywhere in any newspaper or anything. Yet you decide to go and you want to make so much money. Yes, some people made money. That's because they're taking money from others who are coming in and give it to you, so it looks as if they're making money. The money is going to run out sometime, because it is how Ponzi scheme. It has to collapse. So that's the story there, and of course they did go to court. This alleged Ponzi schemers, the two of them, and they went to court through the lawyer, and they tried to have the police and so on not file any more court actions against them, or to drop this matter here. And the court says no. You can't tell the police how to proceed with cases against you. So that's a very serious thing. And here is a very beautiful story before we take a break and come back, because there's some other things we have to discuss here. The judiciary, these are the courts in Guyana, are on a campaign to build back trust, public trust, that is. And so this is something, people look at magistrates and they look at judges and so on, and they say because of the political leanings and so on, they always are very, very suspicious of them. And you, of course, if you would had a hand in court cases, you'd be very suspicious how long. And so it's a pain. One of the quality of life in this country should be, or one of the things we should demand to improve our quality of life in Guyana, is that our court system work a little more efficiently, and the court has been moving in that direction. But this is a big issue here, building back trust. Were they ever trust in the court system in Guyana? I can't remember. I always remember that somebody knows somebody, and they are always run-ins there. You always tell you them, from the marshals to everybody, from the lawyers and everybody, somebody knows somebody and talk to somebody over some drink in a back room or in a bar, and something is settled out of court but announced in court. You understand what I'm saying? These are the kind of things that we have to be very careful about. And as we move forward as a country, the court need to get themselves in order. And it's a good thing that you see the Chief Justice and the Chancellor and everybody working to rebuild trust. They're going to have to engage people. They're going to have to talk about the length of time that it takes to finish a case, because justice denied, justice delayed is justice denied. You know what to say there. So we take a break right now. Before we do that, it's your CARICOM General Insurance time, and I will tell you why it's important. As you go forward, you need to have some protection. Yes, it's a very tough time for people here in Guyana, but you should try to rebuild yourself. Take out the insurance to protect your home. Things tragedy could strike. You must have that kind of thing to fall back on. If you could find money to have some drinks, you could take some money to do some insurance. Do you have a contract? Well, why not give us a call for the best rates of your bonds insurance today? CARICOM General Insurance Company Inc. at 121 Regent and Arnock Streets. To better serve you, you can now purchase your insurance online. Telephone 225-1787 or 269-0020. CARICOM General Insurance Company Inc. at 121 Regent and Arnock Street. We're going to take a break right now. When we come back, some more news, and we open those lines so we can be able to talk to our people, you wonderful people of Guyana. In the meantime, don't touch those dials. We will be back in a very short while.
Imagine up to $500,000 cash in your hand. Shop at Singer from now to December 21 and win your share of $2 million. Spend $20,000 or more and be one of 4 winners of $250,000 each. Plus, 2 lucky shoppers will each win $500,000. Get cash in your hand for the Christmas at Singer. With 6 months, no interest and up to 36 months to pay. Singer at home worldwide.
Nice up your home for Christmas at Singer. Spend $20,000 or more between now and December 21st and be one of 4 winners of a Singer 55-inch Ultra HD television. Singer at home worldwide.
This is a GPL public advisory. Main Street Commercial Office only accepting payment transactions. From Monday, December 14th, 2020 to Friday, December 18th, 2020, our Main Street office will only be accepting payment transactions and prepaid token purchases. No walk-in queries will be done. Business will resume as normal on Monday, December 21st, 2020. Our customers are therefore encouraged to use one of our commercial offices or payment agents closest to you. Bill Express, SurePay, Guyana Post Office, commercial banks, Scotiabank, Republic Bank Guyana Limited, Guyana Bank for Trade and Industry, Demerara Bank, Citizens Bank, and Mobile Money Guyana. GPL regrets any inconvenience this change in operation may cause. However, we remain committed to continuously improving the quality of services offered to our customers. For more information and assistance, call the Customer Call Center telephone number 226-2600 or Public Relations Unit telephone number 225-1471.
Yes, good afternoon. Welcome back to the Wake Up Guyana show right here on Kaieteur Radio. We coming to you live from our Saffron Street studio. If you're in Escobar and Demerara, it's 99.5 FM that you're getting us. And in Berbice, wonderful people of Berbice, 99.5 FM. We also are coming to you live on Kaieteur News Online. You could click the icon there, the radio icon. Or it's on Facebook, Kaieteur Radio on Facebook, or Kaieteur Radio live stream on YouTube. So we back to some news. We've been talking about some of the big news in yesterday's newspaper of the Kaieteur newspaper, December the 13th. And the EPA starting would have to do some environmental impact assessment for the new Demerara River Bridge. And the government is moving full steam ahead already. Guyana would have received on another major project in which we improving our road network here. It's $112 million, I think it would have been approved by the Caribbean Development Bank there for the first phase of the Linden-Lethem Road. And there's 3 parts from Mabura, from Linden to Mabura, right in Region 10, and then Mabura to Kurupakari, and then Kurupakari down to Lethem, and it's about 450 km that we're talking about. It's a very long road, but if they pave that, you could reach from here to Lethem maybe in 4 or 5 hours the most if you continuously driving. But it is an interesting thing because we link through Lethem to Brazil via the Kaieteur Bridge. Those persons who familiar with that area would know that. And Guyana wants to build a bridge across the Suriname River. So right now we're moving full steam ahead with the Demerara River Bridge according to the government, and the EPA is about to conduct an environmental impact assessment. They're moving to that direction. Soldiers to get 2 weeks tax-free bonus right here in Guyana, announced by President Irfan Ali on a visit to Kaieteur. It's a Region 7 area that borders with it's a border area there. So very, very quickly, JetBlue landed in Guyana over the weekend there. These are things, it's really, really sending some good messages I am seeing here. A lot of people, they're worried about how do they continue like Caribbean Airlines. So you have to be, competition brings out the best in us. Let us see what happens here. Let me see some other big stories here in the Kaieteur newspaper here. 19 new COVID-19 cases for Region 10. This is the Linden Region 10 area, Upper Berbice area, and so there. So let's go back. Gruesome murder of Berbice teens. We have the Argentine forensic team in Guyana. This is at least one. The director is in Guyana, and he is looking into the case that was helped by the Guyana Human Rights Association, and he's looking to see whether some way they could finally solve this case here. And of course, a jealous man allegedly burns his wife and children alive. And this is a very shocking case. Domestic violence again, and everything that comes along with it. Men, you need to pull yourselves together. Women too, we got to start conversing a little better. These are very serious times. I could go back and the younger folks might not understand it. The older folks will. Back in our days, people were so respectful for each other. Yes, you're gonna hear they want to cuss out from time to time between a husband and a wife, and it ends there. When you hear about murders and things like that, I can't remember. I grew up in Enmore for a couple of years, coming down to Grove and so on the East Bank, and yes, you would have husbands and wives. They would have the teeth and tongue, but at the end of the day, when it comes to beatings and these kind of killings and burning down homes and things like that, where did that come? Since when did this become okay? Men, you got to start doing things. I'm looking at all the stories that are coming out, and it's all good to hit a woman and justify it. You don't want to be in the relationship, move out. But you have responsibilities, you have kids and so on, we have to look at those things. This is a conversation that should not be left behind. Recently completed a couple of days in which people were wearing orange, raising the awareness of this very big issue in Guyana here. And this is not something that we have to treat with kids' gloves. So we got to take off our gloves and deal with it frontally, and get our men and women, especially you men there. And I'm talking because this is not something I feel very comfortable with. That we should not be known as a country that is, suicide capital of the world, domestic violence capital of the world. Get your acts together. Start getting yourself an education. Start getting yourself some understanding that when you do that, those kind of things, your life is over. Game over for you. It's jail. Or maybe if you commit suicide or whatever it is, it's not the end, because you would be leaving loved ones in deep not only shock, but the fallout from that. Kids are left, in this particular case here, two kids, 1, 3, 1, 5, probably didn't know what hit them. What were the thoughts in their very young minds that there's this heat, this fire, and they're being burnt alive. The mother, 48 years old. And the man went back there, all because he believed she spoke to somebody. That's the story. But for you to believe that you could do something like that in Bartica, in any part of this world or so, it's horrendous. It's unacceptable. Front page of Kaieteur newspaper today. Granger fails in commitment to issue statement on AFC senior executive phone tapping allegations. So we are paying attention to that story there. Trinidad and Tobago's ignorant on gas trade and led to massive exploitation. Lost 17 billion US dollars between 2010 and 2017. Export reveals. Very shocking story there. You see how much money, with 17 billion dollars, we had $1 billion that we were going to build an Amila Falls project. We borrowing 100-something million US dollars just to see us through this COVID. $17 billion. I can't even think those figures. Police probe in Blessing Circle Ponzi schemes. Get your act together, folks. Do not fall prey to those sweet-talking people coming to, hey, you can make some money. I'm going to give you back if you invest. If you put it in this kind of thing, I could give you back in a week. $150,000 if you put in $20,000. When you hear people like that, bring in the police. Or get the police officers them to invest in it, so we could tell some stories about it afterwards. One arrested in Arakaka police outpost arson attempt. I did tell you about that. A man locked the police outpost door, and this seems to be falling through the cracks. It goes to show you how society is getting crazy in Guyana here right now. Lock policemen inside and try to set the police outpost afire. Don't expect PPP to remedy suspicious Kaieteur County Block Awards. This is the Ann Mangle, former presidential advisor. Minister of Health urges caution during Christmas shopping. 3 months after commitment, Harman, and this is the leader of the opposition, yet to hold oil and gas press conference. GPHC board to address supposed drug shortage. Well, let's see. They need to get that in order very quickly. And the Bartica murder woman that planned to report threat of arson today. This is today here, Monday. It's very, very shocking. My heart hurts for that. So in a very short while, we will be opening our lines 226-7453, 226-7453, and of course send all those messages to 6222222. Whatever it is that you're doing today, tell me how it is that you're making arrangement for the Christmas. Are you making arrangement? Do you have a money? How it is? How things are happening? I need to have a feel of what is happening. Let's be honest. Let's talk to each other. It might not be as bright as last year for some people, but definitely when it comes to doing Christmas, we always try to push in a little that we have, eat a little, and just be that whole season there. So I want to talk to you guys there. I know that the $25,000 a team on the East Coast there in the Clonbrook and the Ansgrove area, Cove and John area on the highway. There's a team that's out there, Hillfoot and so on. I'm not sure so far how far they've come down, but the Hillfoot people complaining of some there's some issues there. And if you filed a pink slip, it has to be addressed and so on. And that's still going to take it. It's not going to happen overnight. So let me pause right here and not talk anymore to you people because it's your turn. I had to share those stories. I miss my dog. I did tell you that we had to put down our dog over the weekend. And I was watching the video because I was at work. But when the vet says, we could treat him, but there's no guarantee that he's gonna survive. He has an infection, urinary tract infection. He also has a respiratory issue, and so he says he might be in a severe pain if we go ahead with this treatment, and no guarantees that he's gonna think. So we had to take a decision because eyes. The blue film has taken over his eyes, so that's a death look, kind of, if you want to. And I was looking at him there, you shaking his tail, raising his leg, and so when I called out for him, but he was in extreme pain, and we had to say goodbye. And within 3 seconds, I think they're about to have given the election. You could see the injection rather. You could see the body going limp, and it's not something that I ever want to see again. It's like a human being that you put in down there. So that is when I really connected. That we really connected, my family and I, with what it means when people complain about pets and what it means to have a pet really, and when you have to say goodbye or whenever the fireworks goes off and see them suffering and so on. We have got to, I did tell some of the officials from the pet organizations that I'm going to accommodate them, because we got to really start putting our foot down when it comes to our protection of our pet. They have rights too, and making sure that we do the right thing, that we don't allow people to take advantage. Do we have a call online? Good afternoon, caller, you're on the air. Okay, so it is 226-7453. If you're calling in, that's the number. I'm going to read some messages very, very quickly. Good afternoon, Leonard and Kaieteur. Greetings to you. My question is, why would NIS raise the money for spectacles? For the last 15 years, NIS has been given 10,000. Today, the better quality spectacles. Oh, when would they raise it? Today, the better quality spectacles are tagged way above the paltry sum. Isn't this time that the NIS raised the bar to at least $20,000? And that's just spectacles. Up the ante on the others too. Thank you very much, and be safe. I'm going to try to get the NIS back and let us talk. But right now, they have an issue with money. They have falling revenues, but they have their the benefits that they're paying out has risen somewhat. So they have an issue long term. While they have a lot of money right now, on the long term, NIS is in trouble. So that is something we'd all aspire to, that I hope that they could fix this issue here, collect monies from employers and start doing what it is and raise the benefits to our people there. Thank you very much for bringing that up. I'm glad that you brought up this subject of lawyers. A lawyer from Berbice by the name of so took $600,000 from the Rosignol Fishermen Co-op Society for supply of lumber for the repairs to be done towards the society RAM since last year, March 2019. Up to now, no lumber, neither no refund of money, and he does not answer his phone, never come to the society or said anything. Well, there's I think the legal practitioners committee, I think it is, legal practitioners committee. Call anyone, a lawyer, and they're going to be able to tell you who are these people here. I think even Mr. Christopher Ram office and so on, they could be able to tell you. They reconstituted that body, I think last year or this year, and it's supposed to be, if you want to make a complaint, you could write that association on behalf or complaining about this lawyer here, and they could take this matter up for you. So no lawyer in fact should believe that they could do anything to the people of Guyana and get away with it. These are I'm going to come back and talk about that. Do we have a call in line? Good afternoon, caller.
Hello.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, my brother.
Good afternoon, sir.
My brother, you're doing a great job. That's Wake Up Guyana show. Wake up a lot. You can remember I talk about GT&T.
Yes, sir.
With the message that they send on the phone when you just stop up.
Yes, sir.
They'll never remove.
Uh-huh.
It's just ordinary. I know government people have removed that.
Uh-huh.
It's the same Wake Up Guyana show. Now, you will say everybody's silent about GT&T, but a guy will wake up again GT&T.
What do you do now?
Now, I lost my phone Tuesday. I lost it with two SIM, Digicel and GT&T. I went to Digicel Thursday at Mandripo and bought a phone with the SIM. With the same number, and it activated immediately.
Mm-hmm.
I went across to the market at Mandripo, where I met with a dealer of GT&T. The dealer, his name is Leonard.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I give you a SIM, a replacement, $2,000. I said, no problem. Installed the SIM wasn't working.
Mm-hmm.
He said, get some numbers that you recent call with the phone, I give him. Still the SIM not registered.
Uh-huh.
This morning, I went to GT&T office at BV, and simply, the girl who looked after me, everything was good.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. Now, this guy, what name, Leonard, when you talk a story with people, then there's no who is who.
Uh-huh.
No, two guys was in the bus, two black guys from Boston was in the bus when I was starting the problem. And they say, oh, guys, that man robbed them a lot. They might carry phone there, and you dig out them parts, and you put in substitute parts. So that, well, yes, you use it for no other phone, repair it.
Mm-hmm.
When I was starting with this man, when he assembling my SIM at his stall in the market, a guy was repairing phone. An old lady come, an Indian lady came. She said her phone got a problem. They hold the phone, they check it, they say $12,000. The lady let her, she jump. The lady said, I can go home, come back. She go home for money,
Mm-hmm.
for pay for the phone, because she didn't know if you have $12,000 for repair one, one big phone.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, the lady went. Why the lady must even come out of the market yet? The buyer that was repairing the phone said the phone working. Then the lady said, oh guy, I just tell the lady $12,000. The buyer said, yes, it's that. I didn't see anything happen. What did the buyer do to this phone? Or he get into the, you open the back and...
But in essence, what you're saying there is that the racket's been run and so on.
Yes.
Right.
Well, I thought this thing. No, I went to GTC. I leave a complaint with the girl that took after me. I tell them if I want to meet the complaint personnel. She said no. She's going to lead the complaint. Now, this CEO is having a GT&T. They rob millions of dollars with this message thing, and it come off now. Now, you got the what you call it again? Authorized dealer.
Mm-hmm.
That you authorize to help you out with the business. They are now robbing the people. So what are you doing with this CEO? This CEO now...
Well, I think it's not so much the CEO. It has to do with the company. And it has to do with the company. Let them understand that they're here. The good thing, later on this week, I had a chat with E-Networks, the boss for E-Networks, a guy named Vishuk Prasad. I think it's Dr. Vindhya Prasad, brother, the Minister of Human Services. And I
Yeah.
said, I need to bring him on because I want to understand what is it that you bring into this country. And he's introduced fast internet now, and he's running it all around the country, Esquivo and so on. Right now, they're doing that. But the point is, I'm bringing them on because we need to start putting these people. You know, some of the criticisms of GT&T, not one day have they responded because they don't really care.
But sir, they have to clear because it's the public suffer, the minister.
No, they don't care. You don't understand. They've been doing it for years, and they just getting millions and millions.
Yes.
It's all about the pocket, my friend. Just understand this.
Yes.
Businesses, all they understand is about the pocket. They don't really care about you and me. They got very few company that really understand it. It's about time. It's about time we says get out or do something, because when you do that to the people and you keep on robbing them, it's about time for us to draw the line. But I thank you very much. I hear what you're saying.
Yes, sir. No, this government of this country, they are terminating contracts and people, doing their work.
Whose contracts have they terminated?
I hear that, so they terminate contracts and terminate people from the job and them things.
No. I think we put this because I'm extremely worried too if this government would discriminate against people. And the government has made it very clear every 5 years, whenever there's elections, and let me draw a parallel.
Yeah.
I did want to address this. People have been talking about this. If Trump goes in there, or there's a new government, Biden goes in there, it is expected that he goes in with his team. It's expected that people who are serving in political positions would have to be removed. Now, they have a couple of ministries, don't know these people, but all of a sudden, when you went on to start, you had your government, you hired 200 persons, and you don't know what they're doing, and they're sitting there.
Yes.
It's political in its nature. So when you hear 1,000 people being fired, these are people, absolutely, you ask them, call them and ask them what they were doing. When was the last time that you reported? Is there any time book that you think? They had people who were working and was at the elections at the Artichoke Convention Center, observing what's happening when they're supposed to be a job.
Good.
So I'm not sure with this thing with fired. In any case, every 5 years we see people going home. That's because it's a political position thing.
Good. All right. Let me say now, GT&T will be continue this all the time, having the authorized dealers doing this to people. This man even helped me out with his phone, make me have to reach to the from Thursday to today. Have me and my boss nearly knocked me off because.
All right. Well, we got a thing. What you need to do to answer everything that you said there, you got to call GT&T and make a complaint officially to them because it's a
complaint to them, but that is nothing. That is nothing to them. They don't care. I want.
Write a letter to the newspaper. Write a letter, and I'm going to publish it.
I want to remove this by one in Lakram from the authority.
I'm not sure if he working there or whether he is just a businessman who's a.
He is an authorized dealer.
Well, you can't fire. What you do is severe whatever contract. Write a letter to the editor and let's see whether it meets the standards, and we'd be more than happy to publish it.
You know how much body crying out about their phone being good at.
I hear what you're saying. Thank you very much, right?
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, dear sir. And yes, if you're doing business and so on, don't forget, customers are very important. Make sure that whatever it is that you're doing, that you please the customer, or at least send them away. Even let's draw a parallel here. This program here, sometimes I don't agree with a lot of people what they call in, but guess what? I have to show them the respect. We governed here by the broadcasting authority, by the laws. And if I do anything wrong, if somebody cuss on here, we have delay buttons that we could press to delete those comments or statements that are made there. But by all rights, I have to ensure that whenever anybody call here into the station, I have to give them the respect. I have to try to listen to them and accommodate them, because this is what the show, the whole concept of the show is about allowing the people. We might think it's a very stupid thing that they're saying, but they don't have anybody. The mere fact that they call in is because they want to air their views. And yes, people say, but you listen sometimes and you accommodate all kind of idiots. I said, no. If we're going to accommodate the show and it's a wake-up Guyana show, you want to wake up the soul, people must be able to talk about anything that affect them. You don't expect me to do the government work, but you could raise your frustration about what the government is doing or what the opposition is doing, what the RDC is doing, what the NDC is doing, what the police are doing. or what Gildarie is doing, or what Kaieteur News is doing. Glenlal too. You could complain about Glenlal too. So this is what we do here. But we could go back very quickly online there. Good afternoon, caller on the air. Hello. Hello.
Sir?
Yes. Good afternoon. You are on the air. Could you lower the volume, please, on your radio?
Yeah, hello, this is
Could you lower your volume on your radio right away, please?
Yeah, Leonard.
Yes.
This guy where people them on their cable codes, they come to this meter now work. Right? They read the meter. They write a letter as early as possible. 3 months done now. I visit them and say, they don't know when this meter going to happen. And I'm me alone, plenty body. Then put us straight now. We got to pay $1,950. Right? A month now. And we used to pay $5-6-700. We use rainwater when the rainfall. We got trench, we use the trench water. I explained to them, when rainfall, we don't use the pipe water. Me, you know, when people say rap or people are man, me a pensioner.
All right. What I could advise you to do, we did invite GWI onto this program here, and they have made it very clear they're a little busy. They have a preference that people call them in, so we don't have any kind of options with them as a state-owned. I did put a comment to the minister, Colin Crowell of the Minister of Housing, and he said he's going to address it. I'm going to have to follow it up with him. But it said anybody that has any problem, and nobody's calling them. That says nobody's calling them. I'm going to give you.
I visit the office.
No, hold on. I'm giving you. Call this number here and tell them you want the PR department, Public Relations Department. It's 227-8701.
Okay.
Tell them you want the Public Relations Department and tell them that Kaieteur News says that's the number that we give to you. That's the number that they want you to call if you have a problem. And let me know back how it goes. 227-8701.
Okay, thank you very much.
And thank you very much to the good folks right across there, Sukuba Coast there. I want to say good day to you, wherever it is that you're listening from. I want to say good day to you. I hope that you're keeping safe today. Protect yourself. Leonard, an authorized dealer, is an independent person, not an employee of GT&T. Thank you very much for that. Yes, I think I wanted to tell that gentleman that. And that's a story that GT&T would have to know. You could call GT&T as well, and they would be more than willing to take those comments. In the meantime, at least that's what they say. Most of these companies are telling you we are willing to listen to whatever it is that you're saying. And when the people call, it's a different story. You know, they give them all kind of push around. Maybe it's a very tired worker of that entity. And if Gildarie calls, it's all nice and dandy. And when the people them call, they push them around so much. In any case, I spoke to GPL this morning, and GPL is coming back on Wednesday here again. They seem as if they want to listen to the people, and they said they've been looking at some of the complaints that people made, and they're going to come back and tell us what are some of the resolution or the solutions that they've come up with for some of the issues raised by the people last week Wednesday when they came here, senior officials of GPL, that is. I like this company, how it's going about doing its business now. Good afternoon, Leonard. I hope you guys are having a great day across Guyana. I have a couple of issues with the people abusing animals in Guyana as we speak. Some people like the animals when they're small, but when the animal get big, it becomes a problem and start to abuse it. Do we like anyone to treat us the same way? What you don't like for yourself, you must not like for anybody else. Why is the president not coming on to show and answer your question about Exxon, illegal immigrants that enter Guyana? There are many overseas Guyanese, overseas business. And people do not get the opportunity to start up a business. Somebody taking a backdoor deal. Can you tell if this is fair? Where's the government? I want to ask you a question. You said that GT&T don't care about customer in Guyana. So what the government is doing about the company? The government needs to step its foot down on business like this. Because if the poor man like me or you do something like that, we are going to go to jail, right or wrong. Leonard, why some people getting 3 to 4 house out and people really need it in Guyana, he's not getting it. And these are the issues. You're right, so very right, my brother. These are are the issues that people have been raising, and these are the issues that we have to look at. And we're not going to stop as long as I'm here. Next year, I'm going to be taking a break because like I said before, I have to do something medically and so on. It's about time. The doctor says you have to get yourself in order. But we're going to talk about that as we come down to the year. Leonard, good afternoon, bro. I'm so happy for you and Leonard. Had it not been you guys, we, the Guyanese people, would never have known. I think this would have been okay. I think he would have sent that before. Let me see what he says today. Good afternoon. Grateful if you can highlight this from since early this year. This wire sparked and boys. I don't know if it's live or not, but I called GPL soon after 2 weeks. They said they came to look at after the bend it the strand from the said wire, and they hook it up to the rest. Wire bob or not. In any case, this is Sisters Village, west coast of Demerara. I'm gonna ask 669. I'm gonna send this to myself. 1 second, folks. I wanna make sure I address everybody when it comes to. Okay. In the meantime, do we have a caller in the air? Good afternoon, caller. You're in the air. Go right ahead. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
I'm to Kaieteur News.
Yes, you want the Kaieteur Radio? You want to the Wake Up Guyana show?
Mr. Gildarie.
Yes, it is, sir. Yes, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Could you lower your volume on your radio, please?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir.
Go ahead. Go right ahead.
Mr. Gildarie. GRE.
GRA, yes.
Here's what happened. I was made to understand. No, I'm correct. That in the budget, motor vehicle license have been slashed by half. Am I correct?
I think they would have done some adjustments. They would have done some adjustments to some of this. The charges would have been introduced by the coalition government. They reduced some of those fees.
It's not half.
It's not half. I went in and I did something recently. I can't remember if it's $2,500 that I paid for my road license.
Because what happened? I went to do I normally pay $37.50.
Yes.
When I go there, I give the girl the registration and the whole license, and I give her $2,000. And she tell me that is not correct. I have to give it $32.25. And so I listen. I think the budget said they said this slash by half, but I'm not too certain. So
what I'm gonna do, because I don't want to put my mouth where I know too much. I know that I didn't pay much attention. I went and renewed my car. My road license recently. I can't remember because I didn't pay any attention. But I'm gonna ask GRA spokesperson to come on back the program and we could talk about that.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, and if you don't talk, enjoy the rest of your season. Okay.
You too, sir.
Thank you very much, dear. And so, let me see. I'm going to deal with the Sisters Village thing in a very short while. Mr. Gregory, my sincere condolences to the loss of your family pet. It's been almost a year. My family's still having bad days. When we see tears and sadness in each other's faces, there's no need to ask why. About the oil contracts, Mr. Gregory, I see the acceptance of Mr. Prasad back again. The post he was given in the government as a slap in the face of Kaieteur News and the government, the people, the Guyanese people. Thank you very much for that. Very first message of the day. NIS, can you invite them onto the studio where they can answer some questions? Can I have a contact name or number for the Enmore NDC? I don't happen to have that, the Enmore NDC right about now. I'm going to try to get that, but I'm being told that we have to head to a break very quickly now. And let me tell you very quickly also, it is, if you have a contract and there's a government contract, why not give us a call for the best rate for your bonds insurance today? CARICOM General Insurance Company, Inc. at 121 Regent and Ornock Street. To better serve you, you can now purchase your insurance online. Telephone 225-1787 or 269-0020. Stay tuned. Do not touch those dials. We will take a break right now. And when we come back, more calls, more messages for the people who are tuned into the Wake Up Guyana show right here on Kaieteur Radio.
Imagine up to $500,000 cash in your hand. Shop at Singer from now to December 21 and win your share of $2 million. Spend $20,000 or more and be one of 4 winners of $250,000 each. Plus, 2 lucky shoppers will each win $500,000. Get cash in your hand for the Christmas at Singer. With 6 months, no interest, and up to 36 months to pay. Singer at home worldwide.
Nice up your home for Christmas at Singer. Spend $20,000 or more between now and December 21st and be one of 4 winners of a Singer 55-inch Ultra HD television. Singer at home worldwide.
Yes, good afternoon. Welcome back to the Kaieteur Radio today. It's a Wake Up Guyana show with your host Leonard Gildarie. I want to say good day. I want to say good day to Lavanya Gobin and of course Angelina Mani. And there's a little story here. During our shows the last couple of weeks, I was receiving this text every day. Hi, this is Angelina. And I did reach out and I said, who's Angelina? She says, I'm just 10 years old. A very young woman. A very young lady that has been listening to her program when she takes a break from her school. And so then I received another text from a very pretty young lady as well, just like my little daughter. And she says, my name is Lavanya Gobin. And I said, okay, you live in the same area as Angelina? She says, yes. So yesterday I called them and said, I'm coming over to that area there. Could I come see you guys? And I went there and I walked into this very humble, situation right next door to the seawall in Cornelia there. And I was taken aback. There was this big blackboard and it says, welcome, Uncle Leonard. And I saw some very humble Guyanese there, and 2 very happy, shiny faces. 2 little girls who loved this program there, and I felt so happy that I was there. And we happened to have teachers, we happened to have farmers, politicians, everybody tuned into this program here. And what I would have always said, and what I'm going to say to you people again, is that this show here, this forum, I don't even call it a show, it's a forum in which the people, they have their voices, in which we could talk things, discuss it, maybe reach out to the necessary people, and let's see whether we could, raise the awareness as about the wrongs that are happening here. And when you see these simple people here who are so humble, and the happiness that they just, they would have been there to see. They even took pictures and so on, and it was a good thing to see that we have our young people here who are paying attention to the happenings, the current happenings in our society. And these are things that we have to push to bring awareness to all the ills, to all the happenings, the current issues, the current events in Guyana. If you really want to build this country, you have to pay attention to what is happening and pay attention, let us help out in a little way. And while coming away, they give us a little things like, like nuts and coconut and things like that. I really didn't want, them to be putting themselves, but they insisted, and they were so kind, and talking about how they are handling school in a pandemic way when you barely have enough internet, and how very humble parents who are barely making it, they're putting all out for the little kid, and they would have adopted another kid, kind of a cousin there. So I don't want to get into too much of details, but what I want to say is that 2 very bright prospects. I'm going to be following the travels, the journey in school, and I've been following a couple of other children too, who would have been reaching out, some parents and so on, and we would have been able to come forward. We have got some friends. I basically twisted the arms behind the back, and they would have come out and did give some help and so on. And we don't talk about these things. I don't want to talk about it, but what we nevertheless, we looking, we checking. Be tracking the development of these young kids, how they're going forward. As I say, I always remember my grandmother, and you know it too. One Dottie Bildam, and if we could adopt a little somebody, adopt a family, adopt a little kid, and you mightn't have to bring them into your home. but see whatever little that you could help. In so doing, we could build a better life for this country here. We could look out for each other, and that is the kind of thing that we should be pushing. This thing is not about us getting all the money and just keeping it for ourselves, or you hustling and you do anything and make a little money. Share it and share a little, bring some happiness into this world. I did see over the weekend here a very, very beautiful statement, and I want to share it. I will be sharing with you in a very short while. It was brought out and it was pointed out to me by a man named Leonard, and he says, the beauty of life does not only depend on how happy you are. And I told him I'm going to share it today. I did give him a touch, a knuckle touch, and I said I love that. The beauty of life does not only depend on how happy you are, but how happy others can be because of you. So if you could help a little, let me just, I want to share that back again. The beauty of life does not only depend on how happy you are, but how happy others can be because of you. And I really, really want to share that. And so to the Angelinas and the Latanya and so on of this world, you know that sometimes there's going to be people looking out for you there. Just got to have the faith. Things happen, and it is a good Christmas. I want to say good day to your family and to all right across this beautiful country. Do not give up hope. Do not despair. It is a beautiful life. We just only have to make it and have the right attitude. The attitude of being a go-getters. Do not sit. Make things happen. Pick up the phone. Call somebody. If you're going to sit down and mope in your situation, it's not going to help you. You got to do something. Let people see that you're progressive and they're going to want to help you. At least the majority of people. There's some people who don't want to share, who don't want to do anything. Those are the Scrooges of this world. We go back and they're calling the line. Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right ahead. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Could you lower your volume, please?
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, good afternoon, sir. Yes.
Are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Go right ahead.
I listened to Guyana last night and I listened this morning back.
Mm-hmm.
That man make a lot of people who get education and control the island. And I'm not a bright boy, but I understand the principle, what the man is talking about his island. And I tell you something. That man, Robert Pasawa, Jagyo Wenge, that Jagyo family. And you and I can claim me that they will vex me. The people in this country got to stand up and wake up. And if they don't wake up, that means I'm asleep because they're supposed to call you. And you're supposed to take a little more call. Let me tell you something. That oil business is a serious business for me, Trinidad. Because they had some girls and things, they reported them and they were giving them view. The PNC doesn't care about the PNC people. They care about getting a pocket full and happiness. But so much money we lose from the aisle when Rabba Pasar and Ramatar signed. By now, we could have received, every house could have received one little Christmas gift.
Yeah.
Is that so?
Well, we could have been, we have so much oil. You know what's 9 billion barrels?
And all, Anna, the point is, they're doing nothing. They sit along by Jagdev. Why not come when the election there? Every day you come on the TV and you lecture. Come and lecture and let the people know. Tell the truth. Not swing from Paulika to Jarton and Jarton to Bobby's when the reporter am asking question. You understand what going on?
Uh-huh.
You don't do these things. Come out and let the people know. If these people, the Indian people in this country, vote for him, and a lot of black people vote for him, you have to stand up. Because we are going to find ourselves in debt. You start to borrow money, you just like the PNC brother. The PNC take 900 million, you go take on there 9. You understand what going on?
Right. We got to be very careful.
Now, if he, Barjabio, get the thing right, bring the right people, pay the people outside, come and do it. And let me get that deal back signed properly. Right now, we don't have enough money. You're not going to get $25,000. You're going to get $100,000. Mm-hmm. Now you can't go borrow money. You're going to borrow for COVID. You're borrow for this. This is nonsense. You understand what's going on, brother?
Yes.
And I don't like if they're nothing. And the people in this country, I just a few people called and I want them in the house and I must along. You got to get up and talk. You got to get up and talk. And the The Afro people got to get up and talk on the phone.
No, you have to. You look, like I said before. While we sit along here, you believe it's easy to keep repeating yourself all the time. We want to see the kind of, and I think I am feeling there's an air here. You look at the writings, you look at what people are saying, people reaching on the road, people calling you, and there's an awakening in the people right now. I'm feeling it. I know it.
Okay, let me tell you something. When Sharma was there, and electricity and this thing and that thing, the man call people, and the people come out to the street. You understand what I mean? But we, the Indian people and the Afro people vote for BBP, have to look and say nothing. And you got Ham and them got the fool the black people and more vote for them. I just fool them, brother. And they're taking it. They taking it. This whole thing is sheer politics. You for you, black for black. You get what's going on?
Yes.
After you wake up, if I not wake up, can't eat, have a dinner.
Can't eat dinner, right. I got that.
Listen what the girl was talking, the reporter today. I put it on and I listen when he go meet me Jack Dale. And when I ask him certain question, she say he gone there, he come there, and he go there, and he come back. And still you don't get some proper answer. You get what's going on?
Yeah.
Now, you got Robert Pasade. What was position he hold? What he got there for? Because he family. I think he married some niece or something. You understand me? And then you call for the president to come. Why you think Louisiana want to come? You got 3 coolie president and 1 new president will come there. Now bamboos and the bamboos?
No. I'm not sure that was it. I think it is a fact.
According what I'm trying to say, they will put out what I got put out about the country. And when they wanted the video thing, 3 man there with that one. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a story go wrong, come on, and the man have accept. That's the reason why the man don't want to go. You understand me?
Yeah.
Listen, buddy, I'll be there in a state here. Let me tell you something. If they're not accept, go and do the whole thing. Jack, they must come and definitely TV just because you've been to election time. Watch. Come and tell the people the truth. Tell them, well, look, we are doing this, we are doing that. We are bringing somebody, we are bringing this body. We are do the investigation and get this thing right. Otherwise, I'll be dead. Is that so?
Yes. All right. Thank you very much for that. Any other point?
No, we get a little water now, man.
Thank you very much for that. CI, beautiful place. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, man. That is a land of water.
Yes. Have a pleasant rest of the day, sir.
Have a nice Christmas, man.
You too, man. Bye-bye. As always, we do happen to have, some of the best politicians. And you want to sit down and you want to hear, go into your village corners and things like that. And you're going to hear the rice farmers. And you don't have fancy language here, but they break it down for you. And they put it in practical words. And it's a good thing. You learn. And like they've always said in this business here, if you're in the media business, write for the little man in the street, for the little farmers, so that the professor in the college could understand. Do not write for the professors because the one in the street, the people. There are others who might very well argue and say, well, if you don't write for the professors, how are you going to raise the bar? How are you going to think? But, it's very, very simple. In this business, you keep it very simple. I think some people say keep it simple, stupid. That is a KISS method when you are a reporter. If you be very simple, people are going to get a message eventually. But it's good to listen to the people out there because they have a handle on it and they're the best politicians because they could be able to tell you in very, very simple languages. So thank you very much and have a pleasant rest of the day to that caller. And, did agree with a man this morning that I went up the road with. But at the end of the day, I said, what we should all agree is that this country here, there should be one direction that we are all committed to. Whichever party that you are sitting on, there should be a long-term plan, and all government, regardless whether it changes to some other party or parties, a coalition, if you will, that they continue it and they all won. When it comes to protection of the border with Venezuela there, they hold in one head. Do not let the tail wag the dog, or the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing. You got to be very stupid to allow that to happen. Leonard, an authorized dealer, Leonard politicians worldwide are the same. All promise in order to get elected until the next election. Thank you very much for that. Hi, good day, sir. I have one point in the oil deals to make, or just saying, if you can get the leaders from the government to come on your program, or let someone from the two-party come on the program, sir, because the fight for Guyana, I think you can hear what they have to offer or what they think about the oil deals. Thank you very much for that. Good afternoon, Leonard. Regarding the salary increase under the previous administration, was there any update on the reversal of the pre-2015? Also, I do believe that the current ones are more active in the community, deserving of the remuneration. By the way, love the short. Have one like it. Stay safe. God bless. Thank you very much for that. I decided to come out this morning, and I was looking at something, and I said, you know what? Let me be a little festive today. I'm in that kind of mood. Christmas does that to me. I remember growing up and so on, and there's so many things. My grandmother, I can't. Who remember the thing that scraper? Remember the scraper? I think the old folks would know more about that. It is a little metal thing that is there. It comes with maybe sometimes with a wooden handle. If it doesn't, well, God help your little soul with your little hands. And my grandmother would make me scrub the side steps and all the steps and so on, and all the boards and the bridge and so on. And there you are with your little hands, and so your hands hurting, but you're scraping off all the little black things on the wood and so on. But it is the whole feeling that you would have had with Christmas and so on, with the cleaning and everything, pulling out all the grass, and not a blade of grass you dare leave in that little section that she has there under by her hammock. I remember the days with when you used to dab the under the house and so on with the cow dung. Well, all that is part of it, and then taking off the blinds, and you without the blinds in the house. They don't say curtains back in those days, blinds. And you take it out, and the whole house is there very bright for about 2-3 weeks because there's no curtains or blinds in the house. And all that is part of it. And then about 2-3 weeks before, the grandfather is going to be grating those, what do you call it? The ginger, making the ginger beer. There was this one bottle, a fat bottle. I don't know, I don't see those bottles, but it's a very, very big fat bottle, and we had it for years, and that was a ginger beer bottle. And you would see the thing in there, and it doesn't look so well, you know, when you soak the ginger in the water and whatever it is that they used to put in. It doesn't look that very healthy, but it tastes damn good, and it burns your throat while going down, and you have that on Christmas Day. Little boy drinking it. So all of that lends towards that Christmas preparation there. So I'm feeling very, very festive. Do we have another call in the air? Good afternoon, caller, you in the air. Go right ahead.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Did you scrub steps, so growing up?
I want to make a complaint.
All right, go ahead.
I'm living in CI.
CI, Cornelia, yes.
Yeah, and this is a child at 14 years. He's driving a Tacoma. I call
a 14-year-old driving a Tacoma?
Yeah, I call an air station more than one time, and this child was at Bangladesh shop with his mother and his sister.
Is this all the time, or just one time you saw that happen?
No, this is more than one time. Even the father car he driving.
Well,
right? And he is only 14.
There is a very good commander in that area. I'm going to give you the number on here. I don't think he is going to be complaining about it.
Yeah, but I call Mr. Craig. He answered me. I
Mr.
told
who?
him, Mr. Craig, the traffic. I think he in charge of traffic.
Uh-huh.
And I called him. I told him this child is at the shop, and there's just 10 minutes away. They could have come and see the child driving a Tacoma.
But sometimes, kids with that, but I understand the danger of it. But if you continue doing it, I'm going to give you a number for Mr. Watson. Maybe you could complain. There's 620.
Okay, let me get it.
620.
Okay.
6863.
6863.
Yeah, in my days, I used to get away and ride my father bike till he bought him a bike, and me and my brother went and we got away with it. But that was through the streets. But if you're taking it and you ride it on the road and things like that, it's dangerous.
A small child is a big Tacoma. You have a lot of small children in here, and sometimes they run out in the street because some the yard don't have paling. and it's very dangerous.
No. It's a very big responsibility.
And I was surprised the mother was in there, the sister, and they have this small child driving this vehicle. And, I don't think that is right at all.
Well, have a chat with them. Did you talk to them?
No, these people, no, I never say nothing. The fishman was there looking. He said, why you have this child driving this vehicle? That was so terrible. And then, there is the next thing I want to say. There is a bridge that you come across, that you have to cross. There is a big hole there. A lot of vehicles have to pass there, and no one came and fixed it.
All right, must send me some pictures. 622 of the bridge of wherever it is.
What is the number?
622.
622. Yeah.
Just send me pictures with which road it is, and so we could be able to see where exactly it is, and with the nature of the road, the hole, and I could probably forward it to the relevant folks here. All right.
Okay then.
Let me ask you a question before you go. You remember growing up and you had to scrub your steps and so on for your grandmother and things like that.
And the bottom house and so. Yeah.
You know the thing. All right.
I know. And the fireside too.
Oh yes, that was something, and the best food is from fireside, right?
Up to now, yeah. Something when I go by mommy, I still enjoy cooking at the fireside. Yeah, I like that.
Thank you very much, my dear, for coming through. And if we don't talk again, do happen to have a
thank you so much. I was trying a long time. I wiping the wall, but I was trying to get through, but I'm not getting through. But I finally get through.
All right. Thank you very much, my dear.
You,
have a pleasant day.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
So, good afternoon to you, Leonard Gildarie. I'm sorry to hear about your dog died. So sad because I love pet. Pet is part of happiness. I feel when you talk about your dog. Thank you very much, dear. Mr. Greg, we tell you, listen, there are a few seconds delay in the radio broadcast and the phone lines. When the phone in and I listen to you to answer through the radio, it's becoming very annoying. There's a caller that hit the nail on the head. Thank you very much. Yes, because under the laws, because of the call, the call programs, we had to put in a delay. So sometimes when you call in and you're not getting and you listen to your radio and there's a delay, there's because we have to delay it by regulations, so that if you cuss or you say something that could get us off the air, because if we say anything wrong here or we do something, they could take us off the air. So we got to be very careful, and we have some buttons here that we could press that could either mute you, delete the words, and a whole bunch of stuff. It's a high-tech kind of program, but it is what the new systems that they have in place that ensure that we protect you and protect ourselves. Good afternoon, my brother. Season's greeting to you and the staff of Kaieteur Radio. I do remember the scrape. I used to also know the ginger beer bottle. I enjoy your program every day. Thank you very much, dear. And yes, those were the good old days. We could bring back those days into our country. We could bring back so much things. And the biggest thing for me is the love that we feel in our hearts for neighbors, for people, and not look at people as black and Indians and Afro-Guyanese and Indo-Guyanese and Amerindian Guyanese and so on. Stop with this nonsense. Start looking at it that we're all Guyanese, and you got to be strict. Stand up together against those people who would want to take away what belongs to you. And I'm saying that to both the politicians and to the companies that are going to come here. We need a fair deal. We need something that we look out for ourselves. And yes, the government is moving in that direction, but I don't work with government. And our job, and my job, is to ensure that we call on the authorities, on the companies that are there to improve it. And if you don't want to toe the line, pick up your bag and leave the country. We could find somebody else. A lot of people would want to come here. So do not tell us about any deal that is signed in blood, or signed that is a sacred deal or sacrosanct deal or whatever it is. We don't care about that. We're interested in knowing that we get a fair deal so our people could have better NIS. They could have better hospitals, medicines, better quality service. We could have better roads. We could have another harbor bridge across the river or two. We could have another harbor bridge across the Berbice River. We could have Escobar being bridged. There are possibilities in this country of ours. What is it that we're doing? We got to stop this thing. We are going to be headed into a break right about now. When we're back, more calls, more comments from our people. Thank you very much. Just stand by. Do not touch those dials.
GPL Public Advisory. Main Street Commercial Office only accepting payment transactions. From Monday, December 14th, 2020 to Friday, December 18th, 2020, our Main Street office will only be accepting payment transactions and prepaid token purchases. No walk-in queries will be done. Business will resume as normal on Monday, December 21st, 2020. Our customers are therefore encouraged to use one of our commercial offices or payment agents closest to you. Bill Express, SurePay, Guyana Post Office, commercial banks, Scotiabank, Republic Bank Guyana Limited, Guyana Bank for Trade and Industry, Demerara Bank, Citizens Bank, and Mobile Money Guyana. GPL regrets any inconvenience this change in operation may cause. However, we remain committed to continuously improving the quality of services offered to our customers. For more information and assistance, call the Customer Call Center telephone number 226-2600 or Public Relations Unit telephone number 225-1471.
Imagine up to $500,000 cash in your hand. Shop at Singer from now to December 21 and win your share of $2 million. Spend $20,000 or more and be one of 4 winners of $250,000 each. Plus, 2 lucky shoppers will each win $500,000. Get cash in your hand for the Christmas at Singer with 6 months, no interest, and up to 36 months to pay. Singer at home worldwide.
Yes, welcome back to the Wake Up Guyana show right here on Kaieteur Radio. This is your host, Leonard Gildarie, and we're talking about here. I see Pam Singh, and she's tuned in on the Facebook here. And Pam Singh is reminding us, we're talking about the old days. Remember, you used to scrape your step and so on when it coming on to Christmas or any, like any holidays and things like that. But Christmas, especially with big cleaning, it's a time for cleaning. And she's reminding us there about the partner. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. And yes, I remember that's where you put the thing that you dab with and things like that. As a little boy, I used to do that, but I never really used like using the cloth. My grandmother was insist that I use the broom. There was a short broom. You put a stick on it, and it was a very soft thing, and you put it there, and it looks beautiful. It smells a little high for a couple of days, but there's a beautiful thing that you look at when you just dab a bottom house. Man, I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure how many people do that up to now. Most people concrete the place and so on, but there's something, I don't think I want to go back to those days, but really it brings back memories. And there's something that looks really, really cool about having a bottom house, that has just been freshly dabbed, and you can't walk there for maybe about a day or two. Your grandmother's going to know, and of course they're going to see the footmarks and so on, and they're going to be calling you out and says, I believe you did that, and God forbids you unless she's in a good mood. My grandmother used to do some crazy things, but hard-working woman. I have a lot of memories growing up in Enmore there with that lady there, and she used to like a lot of powder, putting on a lot of powder into her face and things like that. But those are the older folks who understand what is there. But in the meantime, let us see some of the things. Let's see some of the things that our people saying there in comments. Yes, the comments. Hi, good afternoon, Uncle Leonard. Have a good day. Thank you. I'm so sorry for your dog. This person have a cat. Thank you very much, my dear. Good day, Mr. Gildarie. Our listeners need to know that whoever the government appoints is not as important as their performance. If these people appoint serve people effectively as a country progresses, so be it. That's important. Also, the richest country use big loans for development. Guyana is poor. It needs a loan. The stronger the economy, the easier to repay. I guess that's the plan of the government. You must also warn your callers not to identify people as Indian and blacks. Yes, thank you very much for that. When you call into this program, let's be very, very careful. We could talk things, but we could talk around things because, next thing the people them come, I would have to write a long set of statements, and they'd probably have me sitting down at the table in a cold room with the AC on top of my head. Talking about what was my school of thought by allowing this man here to talk about Indians and blacks. I don't go that road. If we want to say something, we could make a point and say it in a very nice way, in a very effective way, where we could do that differently. Good afternoon, sir. How are you? What I want to say is that it is a season to share, and I want to know if any of the ministers is willing to share half of the salary for each child to get something to eat and drink, because it's pandemic time, which lots of people are now working at present. Now we'll have to pay bills and get food. Willing. Thank you very much, my dear. there all times very practical. Do we have a caller online? Good afternoon, caller on the air. Go right ahead. Hello.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hello.
Hi, yes, good afternoon, sir. Go right ahead.
Good afternoon, sir.
Uh-huh.
Hello.
Yes, you're on the air. Go right ahead.
I was trying to make a point, but I've slipped up. Race thing come in this country. Hello.
Yeah, we listen. You're on the air right now. Go ahead.
Let me explain to you. When Cherry went to India, he take Burnham with him, and I think was in Nehru. And when I go there, and I greet and saw the airport, and he go, Nehru say, you know what happened? You bring a Saab. So Mr. Burnham said, okay, Saab. He come home and he asked, what Indian pundit, what is Saab? He says Saab means a poison snake. Then he formed a party. He decided to break away and form a party. You might be a little boy. And when he formed a party thing, and the only objective that he had, right, is to get power. But Cherry slip up. So Digger get, think, 7 seats or 8 seats, something like that. And when I go in England, he collate. And after a couple of months, he bought out Digger.
All right, you got to make it quick because we got a bunch of calls here, right?
President was Arthur Chung.
Uh-huh.
He said we're going to make a republic in England. There where the hatred start.
Uh-huh.
Because Indian and black, he put them against.
Uh-huh.
And what I say, that people must learn to live, forget about these people and live together, stand up together, fight together, no matter what kind of party you vote for. Because it means that when you stand up against the people who look after the present government, we're going to get good.
Well, there's one very important saying, and as we say goodbye to you, there's one very important saying, sir, which is a house divided will fall. A house divided will fall.
Exactly.
This country cannot move forward. We cannot do anything if our people are pulling in different directions. We have to hold one head. The opposition, the government, everybody, and said this is the direction. That's why I'm saying you don't make a plan and have it for 5 years and then for the last year it's disrupted because it's campaigning time. If you're moving forward for this country, it has to be a plan. And the next government that comes in, if it changes, will have to continue that program there. That's how we should have it.
Yes.
All right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you very much for coming through. We get your point. Good. So, in the meantime, there, yes, and so that gentleman has raised a very good point again, which is, if we want to really move forward with this country here, we have to start understanding that we can't do it without each other. We can't do it without our neighbor, regardless what ethnicity you are, wherever it is that you live in, which community that you live in. Do not look forward to when your government is going to get back into the office. It's your government is in place right now, regardless whether you vote them or not. They are the government of Guyana. We have to look at it that way. The coalition in the next 5 years is probably going to change, and regardless how I look at it, whether I agree or not agree or anything, I have to address that man there as my president. When I stand up and say anything, I say, Mr. President. And that is how I'd have to address that person. Whether I like Irfan Ali or not, I'd have to address him as my president. He is the president of Guyana. And when we going out there and we talking about Guyana, that is the president of Guyana. When the people of America stand up there, they say that Donald Trump is the president of Guyana. You don't have to agree with it, but he is the president of the United States of America. Joe Biden is going to be sworn in a couple of weeks. At the end of the day, he will be the president of the United States, whether we like him or not. And that is the issue there that we'd have to talk about. That's the point. Very, very quickly. Hi, good afternoon, sir. Have a blessed day. I love your program. Keep on doing the good works. Thank you very much, dear. I love that too. Thank you for the encouragement. Leonard, happy Hanukkah. I think it is. Sir, can you imagine a Cuban and Guyanese local arrange the biggest Ponzi scheme and they're out on bail? Do you think Guyanese people could have run that game in Cuba? Maddox and Sanford Barton are serving lengthy prison services. The judicial system again failed, my fellow Guyanese. The local lawyers are in arms with the magistrate. And private bankers in Guyana sold out our country. Their actions among to a national security issue. Shame on these skullduggeries in the legislative branch of government. If any foreigners from China, Haiti, Cuba, etc. think that my beautiful Guyana is on the way to rip off or use as a transit point, let's roll out a visa for them in the amount of $1 million US. If they cannot finish the airport, then let's seize the communist Chinese building in Guyana. This nonsense must stop, or else there's nothing left for us. Thank you very much as always. Very good point. I think the point is I might not agree with everything there, but the point is we have to protect this country. I did write about that over the weekend when it comes to taking the number of steps. Right about now, we have agreed, I think it was announced on Friday, that we have $112 million being announced by the Caribbean Development Bank, and this is going towards as $190 million US project for the first phase of the Linden Lethem Road. And this first phase, I think it's about 121 kilometers. It's from Linden to a place called Maburo, all in Region 10 there. And then there's another stretch that's going to be from Maburo going on to a place called Kurupukari. I'm learning, geography is good. I did listen to my teacher and you learn along the way. There's another stretch from Maburo to Kurupukari. And then there's, after you cross a river there, Kurupukari crossing there, it goes on to another stretch of trail. I don't call it a road. Linden Lethem Trail all the way to Lethem there. So the Brazilian says they want to do that part from Lethem to the Kurupukari area there. They want to pave it in all its 450 km. So when we open this place here and we start moving in this direction here, it's gonna see a different kind of thing. We got to protect our areas. So I did talk about the protection of our place, because when you talk about opening up that stretch of road there, all your lands, your forestry lands and your gold mining lands and everything is going to become open more. Right about now, people are using our trails, and there are many people there. If you know the story there, that what's happening to our gold bush, you cry, because we have all Tom, Dick and Harry there and a few mines officers. Yes, you're listening to me very carefully there. All the mines officers and everybody taking pay off, and says they turn a blind eye to these people operating here without any license or anything, without any kind of work permit or anything, because they take a few ounces of gold. And you ever wonder how they live in such a big house, or what kind of car they drive in, Audis and this and that, and you don't talk about it. We've got to protect this country. So there's a caller in line. Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right ahead. Hello. 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 I think we'd have to cut that call. You have to get ready. Be ready when we're ready. Good day to you, sir, and your boss. I believe that the EPA is not properly equipped with apparatus and proper technical team to investigate. Example, a few years ago, I experienced a very toxic fume in my house, especially in the bedrooms. When I approached the EPA, it took 3 days to visit. After a few days to their office, said they need a source from where the fumes are coming from. But 4 months later, sent a letter stating they did not find anything. Now, sir, they feel some fumes that some person cannot detect, or sources of the fume, unless they have instruments to do so. I believe there should be an instrument to test the quality of the air. Thanks, blessing. My deepest sympathies to you and the loss of your dog. Thank you very much, dear. Very quickly, dear. Let me see what else is happening. Hi, sir. I remember the creeper and the dab the bottom, also the piece of cloth. I can do it. I do it in Mahaica River, my hometown. And this is Angie. Thank you very much, Angie. There's so many things that to the country people, the countryside folks, very simple things that we may overlook it or not pay attention, but it's the little things that really matters when it comes to our unique culture that we have here, and we got to be very proud of it. Things that that belong to us in Trinidad and India and so on. There's so many pieces of culture that should be important, that we should pay attention to, and see how these people are very proud of it when they have when we have our weddings here. You have on Friday night, I think is it the Matikor Dabiarias? Matikor on Friday, and on Monday you have Kangan. And these are things that are part of our culture. Do not laugh at people or do not think. These are things that we should be very proud, and these are things that we should celebrate. And so too to other religions. When the Armenians have their thing and they're talking about the little fish thing that they have there. I'm sorry, the cassava bread and so on. Things that we should be very proud of. So let us start celebrating the culture of this country. Bring back. We should have our ministries and so take these things up a step. It's big things for us. It's things that we should be proud of. And when we stand up and says, I went across to that christening of that gentleman there. He's a friend of mine, and you should see the dance that they had there. I remember going to this African. When I say African wedding, because what's that dance that they have during those weddings for the African thing? Kwekwe, I think it was. And I went there for one of our staffers that got married, I think about a year or two back. And it was amazing, the culture that I felt. I felt very, very proud that these people here, they have the tradition and they have the culture and they were singing. It was one of our staffers. And I regretted that I wasn't able to experience it. How many of you went to a Kwekwe dance or a Kwekwe occasion which they celebrated? There were a lot of folk songs and so on, Sitaiwa Girl and all them kind of thing there. We got to start understanding, start celebrating these things here. Do we have a caller online? Good afternoon, caller on the air. Go right ahead. Hello?
Hey, Gildarie?
Yes, it is you on the air. Go right ahead. Go right ahead, sir. Just lower your volume on your radio and go ahead.
Yeah.
Yes. Go ahead. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Mr. Gildarie, how are you, sir?
Pretty good, man.
I love your program, man. It's very interesting. I think Mr. Glenn Lyle has seized an opportunity to discuss these openly and educate the people in Guyana.
Yes. So you like it?
And I'm very, very, very happy for that.
All right. You calling from where?
Actually, I'm still in Zurich, Switzerland.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, I know that we had a couple of folks there, Bibi Shabir and a couple of others from Norway and so on, tuned in from the program there.
Yeah.
I thank you very much for that, man. And so hope you have.
Yeah, we're always looking forward to hearing from you in the evening.
No, I like to talk to my people. I lived in St. Martin for 6 years, and I tell you this: when I came back to Guyana, you would not believe what I did. The first thing that I did, that first day, I went and I got a Bakewell tennis roll. I got a Bakewell tennis roll. I said I didn't want any butter or cheese or anything. I wanted just to bite into it. And then I went at a place called M&M. I wanted the egg ball and the cane juice. You know M&M, right?
Right.
So I am glad that you call into us. I know wherever you are, Guyanese people will do the Christmas their own way.
Look, man, I'm always happy to hear the eloquent conversations that you guys are bringing to the radio stations in Guyana there and to the world, But Mr. Gildarie.
Yes, sir.
One of the things I can't understand, why did we accept $18 million as a signing bonus for $10 billion of barrels of oil that we have?
Well, you've got me there. That's a question, though. That's $1 billion question, isn't it? That's $1 billion question.
We asked for $18 billion in signing bonus for all of the oil that we have in the ocean.
Yes. I agree with you.
Because this PSA agreement that they signed on to, right, this production cost, when are we going to pay back this production cost?
Well, I don't know whenever it is, but what we do know is that when you look at the good examples of other country or the bad examples that other countries would have experienced, it is a place that we don't want to be there. Even you look right next door to neighboring Suriname, and you don't have to go far. Go to Venezuela and you see some of the mistakes that they would have made. All right? You there, sir? I think we would have lost it. I think we have lost the call there. But I want to say a good day and thank you very much to that gentleman. I think it's somewhere in the evening there in Zurich, Switzerland, I think it is, all the way there, and such a beautiful place, a very cold place, but one of the most scenic place in the entire world. Lots of mountains and so on. But you know what is also beautiful? This beautiful country of ours, this little piece of land, 83,000 all square miles of it, that we call Guyana, that we should be very proud. And I've fallen in love with this country all over again, and you should too. I want you to wake you up because this is the Wake Up Guyana show. I want you to wake yourself up and start understanding that there's no place that you can make your home and call paradise. And when that road opens up, I hope that we protect our country. You should take a walk to the hinterlands, go to some resort out there, spend a few days or so, and do some fishing and understand, breathe the air. It's a different air in the hinterlands here. It's a fresh air. And hear the birds and hear the animals, keep yourself safe. But it is a beautiful place, this country of ours. I think that's a lesson that we really want to talk about. We have so many people tuned in from overseas, Inti Mohammed, and the rest of the folks, Chris Parman and Pam Singh, Bibi Fazi Jaikar and Rita Jagmohan and Sonny Mario and the rest of the folk, Derek Hawker, Chris Parman and Tara Jagdeo, Bibi Shabir, Jean Rohit and the rest of them. If I don't call your name, it's because we're running out of time here. I want to read a couple of things very, very quickly here from our people. Sorry to hear about the loss of a pet. I had a dog that was my best friend when I was young. His name was Rambo. Back in 1988, I was living in Eccles. There was a swarm of killer bees that attacked him and he died as a result. I was so traumatized. I never owned another pet since. May his precious soul rest in peace. My condolences. Yes. I don't know. And animals become like family members. They are family members because you look forward. You have to feed them, you have to bathe them, they have to get vet injections and so on. And they look at you and the same. You talk to them the same as if they listen every word and understand every word that you're talking to them about. Let me see what this person says. Hi, good day. Have one point on the oil deal. They're just saying if you can't get the government for the leaders of the government to come to your program, let someone from the two small parties. Yes. Look, somebody sent me about a flat iron here. It looked like a wooden thing, or it looked like a metal thing with a nice. I haven't seen one like this in a very, very long time. Yes, the flat iron that you put on a tower or whatever it is here. Somebody sent it to me, a picture of it. Yes, these are the things from the olden days. Bring back a lot of memories here. Hi, good afternoon. What about the government is doing for the poor class of the country? Cost of living continues to rise. Where are we headed when the next set of family in the homes are going to get their cash grant? And I think they're talking about those persons here who would have signed up for their cash grant via the pink slip, and they're wondering when they're going to hear. My mom knows about the scrubbing of the house, dab in the bottom house and dab in the fireside. This coming from Angelina Manny. We have 8 cats. Angelina again, my dear. Good day to you. Do we have another time for another call? Good afternoon. We don't happen to have it, but there's some messages here very quickly. Good afternoon. Kudos to Mr. Lal for educating the Guyans. People keep pushing Mr. Lal. All Guyana will be on board with you soon. Okay, good. Let me see. Whatever. Okay, yes. Hi, sir. Good afternoon to you. How are you? I'm the person interested in a job and need help. Call me to the switchboard 225-8491. Let me hear what you have, and then maybe I could see if I could talk to some people. Good afternoon, sir. We'd like to know about the pink form. Is after we fill up, will we get the money still? Well, the reason for you to fill out the pink form for those $25,000 cash grant is for them to assess whether, if you're living in a house and there's somebody else would have received the money, if you're living in the house, whether you're a separate family. If you're a separate family, they would have to verify that, and they would come back to you. I've been told they have not come back to anybody as yet, at least none that I'm aware of. And that's the reason. So the vet, and the question that you're asking there is whether you would get the $25,000 after you fill out the pink form. That depends on whether they believe that you're eligible or not. But like I said before, the president says every household, and every household doesn't mean every house. It means every family that's across Guyana. So if there's 3 families, if you're a husband and wife, and you live in with your mom and father and their husband and wife, I think you should rightly be considered not a family, and so you are a household as well. More than likely cooking your own pot and so on. I've been receiving stories of people opening houses, and even some people, and I can't get no verification. There's some rumors going around of some of the distributors collaborating and so on with people living in or going and taking up residence in empty houses so they could be able to give out that $25,000 and then they split it. I don't have any evidence. I'm just telling you what has been coming out to us. And there's very little unless somebody come forward and says, I know Gildarie was involved there, that policeman was involved there. And when they come, they took $25,000. They could get those people. We can't name names and we don't have any evidence. As of now, it's just what it is, rumors. So very quickly as we come down, it's just about 5 minutes to 3, and it's about time to have those say goodbye. It has always been a pleasure, and let me see if there's any other yes, there's one here. And okay, I see yesterday I was across the river there, driving up to the Vreeland Hoop area, heading along the west coast. Lots of police presence all around the place. And I want to say kudos to the police people, the police ranks, and everybody who are having it a very hard time this Christmas here, because the police hierarchy are working very, very hard. I think when it comes to trying to direct the traffic, and it's not easy work, it's thankless work. And yes, we cuss them and we all kind of things happening, but the one especially in the Demerara area where traffic and everything and everybody's out in the beats and so on. I want to say kudos to the police ranks, those that are working hard and are doing their duties to the people of Guyana. Of course, I want to say by the same token to all the teachers and everybody in the education system, a good day to Ms. Priya Manik-Chan, Minister of Education, and of course all the health folks there, all frontline workers, the doctors and nurses, everybody who put in the shoulders to the wheel to make this country a better place. I want to say thank you very much, and season's greetings to you too. It's a beautiful week, a brand new week. It's a beautiful day out there. So whatever it is that you're doing, make sure that you protect yourself, that you wear your mask, you wash your hands, keep your distance 6 feet apart. If you're in the minibus, if you're in the boats, whatever it is that you're doing, keep those masks on. Do not do anything that is going to open up your family to dangers, and that's what this pandemic is doing. We're out of time now. If you missed the show, you could get us on Kaieteur Radio on Facebook, Kaieteur Radio live stream on YouTube, and we would have been coming to you live from our studio here on Saffron Street, Charlestown, 99.1 in Esquimalt and Demerara, and 99.5 in Berbice. So you have a pleasant rest of the day, or even if you're overseas and it's somewhere in Europe or in Guyana, right across Guyana, have a pleasant rest of the day. We will be back tomorrow on Wednesday. We have GPL back in the house. I'm going to try to get GRA tomorrow onto the line here, talk to them a few moments and see where it goes from there. Until then, tune in this evening about 7:20, Glenn Lal Show, the Glenn Lal Show right here on Kaieteur Radio. Stay tuned. Do not touch those dial. WR Riaz on the line, on the air very shortly. In the meantime, have a pleasant rest of the day.